Giving all praise and glory to the Most High, power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. His glorious and holy name. I want to look at the closing of the Feast of Dedication. They call it Feast of Lights. Some might call Hanukkah. Matter of fact, let me just fire up my manure. Wipe my manure. For the day. Every day, that was the miracle. The Most High had the candlestick burn, and continually burn for 8 days. That was the miracle. One of the miracles. So we're in the 8th day, so it's the last day. Do it like this. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's taken care of. Let's go into it. I want to go into the Apocrypha, and we're going to get a little of our story, what was going on with us. So when you go to First Maccabees, we're going to be going there first. But as always, we're going to open up with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. So all that we do and say is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior, Mashiach Yahushua. And we give thanks to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for everything, because he's worthy to be praised for everything. So let's go quickly into the book of the First Maccabees. This will show you how, and it gives a clear indication when you look at the Maccabees why we're in the condition we're in now, in our thinking and how easily we are programmed. So I'm not going to go, I'm just going to hit certain points as we go through this, so you'll see that this is the kingdom of the Greeks. And this is First Maccabees and Second Maccabees is in between Malachi and Matthew. You have Malachi that's in the Persian Media Empire, then it goes to the Roman Empire. So we got to look at where's the Greek Empire, the first empire of the Edomites, or the so-called indigenous Europeans. So it says, First Maccabees, once Alexander came into power, then you look at verse 9 of First Maccabees, the first chapter, says, and after his death, this is Alexander the Greek, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. That's why Job 9:24 says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is it? It says, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king. Son of Antiochus the king. So when you look at this, we in First Maccabees, the first chapter, the 9th verse. It says evils were multiplied in the earth. So verse 10 says, First Maccabees 1 and 10 says, and then came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. See? It says, in those days went them out of Israel. This is before Mashiach came on the earth. Wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. So they want to go and mix with the heathen and do the things that the heathen's doing. These other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. This is in the Greek Empire. It says, then certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king, wicked King Antiochus, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, so that Israel wouldn't be dealing with them. They could be wicked as they want to, as the heathen were, and doing the wicked, abominations that they were doing. Because when you look at verse 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So what that sound like? New world order. One people. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king. Because Psalm 96 and 5 says, for all the gods of the nations, these heathens are idols. So naturally they don't care. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, his belief, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. See? For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the king for the land. So this is what's going on. And they sacrificed, they polluted the sanctuary by sacrificing swine's flesh. Most of the time, when you're supposed to touch a dead pig carcass. And listen, it says, verse 47, they set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrificed swine's flesh and unclean beasts, just to defile us. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. I mean, becoming men with men and women with women and eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all the things that would upset the Most High's laws, that commandments, and upset him, period. It says, to the end they might forget the law. See? That's why our brothers and sisters are calling themselves Gentiles, because what do they say? Went out of the law, to the end they might forget the law. Whose law? The laws of the Most High. And change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Put him to death. You see? In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they continued, they committed evils in the land. So if you're not following the law, you're going to commit evils in the land. That's what he said. So some of us had to run into catacombs to hide. You see all these catacombs that the Vatican have? Yeah, we built those. Israelites, hiding from the Greek persecution. Now, when you look at verse 53, since y'all dealing with the 25th day of this month, which they call Christmas, it says, now the 5 and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice unto the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Most High, we just read about, on the 25th day of the month, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that has caused their children to be circumcised, and they hang the infants about their necks. They put them on them trees They cut their heads off and put them on those trees. Like you see the bulbs on the Christmas tree, that represent our babies' heads that they cut off. And rifled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them. Okay? Now, let's go to Second Maccabees. It's like the 6th chapter. And we're going to read from verse 1. It says, not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers. Over and over again. Trying to get us to not believe in the Most High. Because you not following his laws, which is his rules and regulations. You don't believe in him. That's the whole thing. Because we have power with our power. The Most High power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel forever. See what it says? He sent this old man to Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High, but follow the law of the land. The laws that he set up. We just read a few of them. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, an idol, Olympius, and that in Gerizim of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. To the coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, because they didn't want to do this. They were made to do this. It says, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, by these other nations. You hear what it said? They were rioting in the temple and reveling by the Gentiles who dallied with harlots, that's prostitutes, having sex with prostitutes in the temple, and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. See? It was having orgy, sexual things that was going on with harlots, with prostitutes in the church, in the temple. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful. We already read about the unclean beasts. They put it in. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful, listen at this clearly, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feast. Couldn't keep the feast days or the regular 7th-day Sabbath. They stopped that. And to profess himself at all to be a Jew. Neither was it lawful for a man to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So you wonder why Paul had to go to the Israelites that would call themselves Gentiles, that were in a Gentile state of mind, like we have to go to you out there that are Israelites and don't realize that most of our family members been programmed to think that they're Gentiles. We have to go to them because they fit right here. Don't they say we ain't under the law, but they Gentiles and so forth? They're the mercy and grace. The Gentiles wasn't given mercy and grace. Mercy and grace only came to the Israelites. But we were the ones that was given the law. We're the ones that need mercy and grace. And most I say you're going to have mercy on Jacob in Isaiah 14:1. And will yet choose Israel. So it says, verse 7, and in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. We ain't even dealing with, we don't supposed to be dealing with no birthdays. But just what the Gentiles, these other nations, these heathens were doing, as it is written. And when the feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy. He was one of the 4 generals. He ruled Egypt. Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. Be just like the heathen. That's why they call themselves Gentiles. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles, hear that? And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Kill him. Then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought, who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led around about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts, had the babies hanging on their breasts. This is what the Greeks were doing to we the children of Israel. They drug 2 women around the city with their babies hanging on their breasts. They cast them down headlong from the wall. And others, remember they did this when? On the 25th day of the month. Like you get ready to celebrate Christmas. On the 25th day of the month. This is what they were doing on the 25th day of the month. Killing us. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly. So we had brothers and sisters, that's why I said it was miserable to have to follow along with these pagan heathens that had us set up to follow their wicked customs. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly. They trying to keep the Sabbath day, trying to still honor the Most High. Being discovered to Philip, were all burnt together, because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day, the Sabbath day. Hear what he called the Sabbath day? They made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day. They burned them up. They were honoring the Sabbath. They had to go secretly into a cave and they burnt them up. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. Because remember, it was wicked Israelites doing what they were doing. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. Just because they're not punished now, say in the future they're going to be punished. For not as with other nations, whom the Most High patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. Let that, being come to the height of sin, afterwards he should take vengeance of us. Therefore he never withdraw his mercy from us. That's why it's told you, Isaiah 14:1, in the end he said, we'll have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. And though he punished with adversity, yet does he never forsake his people. But let this that we have spoken be for a warning unto us. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in few words. So I just want to show you that, and then we look at Judas Maccabees. and his warring men, valiant men that was rolling with him, they took him down to get the temple back, get the temple back to Israel. And that's what he ordained. We as a people, just like they have 4th of July, the victory over Britain, America's victory over Britain, we have the victory over the Greeks, the Romans that were to be, that were coming into power. But it was the Greeks first. So we ordained this. Go to 1 Maccabees, the 4th chapter. And we're going to look at verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days, and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They had to get rid of that foul temple that the heathen, pagan Greeks had came in there and just defiled our temple. Swine flesh and unclean beasts and so forth. But the Most High said, we look at Leviticus 11th chapter, he told us about the clean beasts and the unclean beasts. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields. And the gates and the chambers they renewed and hanged doors upon them. This was their, thus was their great gladness among the people, for that the reproach or disgrace of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, which is this month that we're in now, and we count the days concerning the feast days that we set up, and the feast day that the Most High set up according to the moon, the new moon. But you see when it is, when they dedicated the temple back, was on the 25th day, on the 25th day of this month, Caslu, which is Esau's 12th month, with myrrh and gladness. At that time also they build up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles, these other nations, Edomites and all the other nations join with them, should come and tread it down. So they had to build up high walls for protection, as they had done before. You hear that? As they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethshura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea. And Idumea means Edom, Rome, the Europeans. So you see this. So let's go into St. John, the 10th chapter, 22nd verse, to show you that the Mashiach Yahushua observed the feast that was ordained by the brothers and sisters of the Israelites with Judas Maccabees, as we just read, for 8 days. So we're going to go to John 10 and 22. Let's see if he celebrated Christmas. You're going to find nowhere where he said even honor his birthday. He said honor his death. Know that he rose on the 3rd day. St. John 10 and 22 say, do this in remembrance of me. When we broke the bread, this is my body. You had the wine. This is my blood that's shed for the children of Israel for the New Testament. St. John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, what we just read about. And it was winter. You see, it's around the same time. And Mashiach walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, How long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be Hamashiach, not Yahushai or Yeshaya or Yehoshua or Yeshua, any of those names. Are you the anointed? Are you the Messiah? That's what they asked him. Are you a Mashiach? Tell us plainly. Yahushua answers them, I told you, and you believe not. The words that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. So all these miracles I'm doing in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But you believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice. His sheep gonna hear his voice. And you're gonna recognize him in the volume of the book. He said, you're not of my sheep, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. That's why it's very important that you understand the spiritual power in the name of the anointed Savior, to the glory of the Most High. It said, my Father, who is the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which gave them me. So the Most High draw you to a Mashiach Yahushua is greater than all. And no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. He said, I and my Father are one. We agree. Because he's the Son of the Most High. And what he seen the Most High do, that's what he did. What he heard the Most High say, that's what he said. Because he is the word of the Most High. And what did they do? Once he said, I and my Father are one, he said all that, then the Jews took up stones again to stone him. See? These are those that would side with the enemy, because that's what they did. The Pharisees and scribes and so forth, they were down with the Romans. And they were afraid of losing their position with the Romans, and afraid that the people were not going to follow them. They wanted a reputation. They were ones that were looking to be somewhat in hell. If we was in hell, you better believe that. Under the Romans, when the Mashiach walked the earth, oh yeah, that was hell for us too. That's why I showed you how he said, hey, when you see the city compassed with armies, what armies? The Roman armies know that the time of desolation is near. Chose to run in Africa. That's when we ran in Africa. Fleeing from what? Roman persecution and slavery. See? So let's look at Exodus 22 and 28. Exodus 22 and 28. Exodus 22 and 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. See? Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. So those that are over the people, that the Most High have over the people, he calling them gods. So now let's look at Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 20. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 20. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 20. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 20. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Most High in his eyes. You see? So among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Most High in his eyes. So we look at that, he said, don't, what do you say? Don't revile the gods, the powers. Those are the leaders. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Most High in his eyes. So we got to keep the commandments. Psalm 82 and 6. Psalm 82 and 6. Psalm 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods. See? And all of you are children of the Most High. He would have said, I have said, ye are gods. And all of you are children of the Most High. So what is he calling us there? Gods. John 10 and 34. St. John 10 and 34. St. John 10 and 34. That's why the Most High deal with order. As you see, Mashiach Shai is the chief shepherd. And they disrespected him. St. John 10, 34. Listen, Mashiach Shai answered them, is it not written in your law? I said, ye are gods. I said, ye are gods. Did we read that? Did it say that? Did it say that? Did it say, I said ye are gods? In Psalm 82 and 6. Let's read it again. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So Mashiach Shai says, is it not written in your law? I said ye are gods. If he called them gods, if the Most High called them gods, under whom the word of the Most High came, and the word of the Most High came only to the children of Israel, and the scripture cannot be broken, say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified, Mashiach Yahushua, and sent into the world, thou blasphemous, because I said I am the Son of the Most High. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. He said, if I ain't doing the works that I see my Father do, and I duplicate what I see him do, don't believe me. But if I do, though ye believe not me, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him. Therefore, they sought again to take him, but he escaped out of their hand. See? This is the mindset of our people from what we just read about in the Greek Empire, and those spirits just passed right on down to the ones that will be born and will be under these wicked Israelites' mindset to not even see a Mashiach Yahushua until this day. And them same spirits coming back today. But you see, they want to kill him. That's 2 times we done read it. That's what I said. Verse 39. Therefore they sought again to take him, but he escaped out of their hand. He had just escaped from them. Had to go to another place. From there, look at Acts 23 and 5. Acts 23 and 5. Acts 23 and 5. Then said Paul, I wished not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. That's the law. That's what it's telling you. For those that have ears to understand, the ones that Most High have set up to be the rulers of his people. We just read that in Exodus 22 and 28. What it said, thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Paul is reminding our people in Acts 23 and 5. Then said Paul, I wish not, brethren, that ye was the high, that I wish, brethren, not brethren, that he was the high priest. For it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. Or you breaking the law. 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, the 10th verse. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living power. 2 Peter 2 and 10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, prideful. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, those that are set up by the Most High in these last days, at that time until the end. You say, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Most High. I'll read to you again. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusations against them before the Most High. You see, I just figure everybody's the same. Everybody's not the same. So this is order. Whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Most High, but these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. That's why Ecclesiasticus 3:24 says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion, worthless thinking, worthless opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown in judgment. You let evil come, you let Satan come in, and he will destroy you. That's why the Most High used Satan to destroy you, because you're doing something wrong. This is what it's talking about. Verse 13, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime, going off. Speaking of those that are the chief among the people. Spots they are, and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. Yeah, be right among you, and be disloyal to you. It was then, ain't nothing new under the sun. It's all happening right now. And that's why I said, when you understand all of this, then it's like, when it's like, okay, well, you break it down. You don't really understand the in-depths of getting understanding to the precepts, then it's, you can't just expect people to think the way you think or feel the way you feel if you don't know this. That's why he wants you to be humble. Have a broken and contrite spirit and respect. Matthew 18 and 10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Once again, what did my sacrifice say? He said, take heed that you despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven Their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See? Verse 6. But whoever it is, shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, in the name of the anointed Savior, Bahasham Mashiach Yahushua. For whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he was drowned in the depth of the sea. So kill him. Kill yourself, he's saying. Put a big boulder on your neck. Throw the boulder in the sea and just drown. That's from your lovely, all love Jesus. He said that. He said, be better for you to kill yourself than to mess with one of his little ones that believe sincerely in him. Matthew 10:32. These are the ones that he set up as the chiefs. Matthew 10:32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. See, our people get caught up in our own Israelite life and not realize the Most High is exalted. The Mashiach, matter of fact, Paul said the Most High is highly exalted. Peter said the Most High is exalted him. Paul came back and said the Most High has highly exalted him and given him a name above every name in heaven, in the earth, and under the earth. And that every entity in this world should confess that he is the power to the glory of the Most High. So you ain't glorifying the Most High if you ain't doing what he say do. He's the keys to the kingdom. Verse 33. Matthew 10:33. But whoso shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. He will be denied before the Most High. And he said, ain't no man come to the Most High but by Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the anointed Savior. So he ain't going to the Most High on your behalf if you deny him. So a lot of people denying him. A lot of people crucifying him don't even realize they're crucifying him through their actions. You look at everybody as the same. All of us not the same. Everybody don't have the same position. You're going to find that out. That's why he called the rulers of his people gods, powers. That's in the Most High's eyes, as it is written. Luke 12:8. Luke 12:8. Also I say unto you, whoso shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High. So he's going to confess us before the angels of the Most High. And whoso shall speak a word. Let's look at verse 8. Also I say to you, whoso shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High. But he that denieth me before men shall be denied before the angels of the Most High. Woo. You don't want to be denied before the angels of the Most High, because you got to look at, if you deny before the angels of the Most High, let's look at a case scenario of being denied before these angels of the Most High. The power that the Most High is giving them, the power that they possess in their actions. So you can look at him denying you before the angels to what these angels can do to you. Since you're not confessing them before men, you got everything else to say except for confessing the Mashiach Yahushua. His name don't come out of your mouth. except for whenever something good happened to you. You got to praise him, whether it's good, bad, whatever. You got to praise him all the time, people, to the glory of the Most High. Praising the Most High in the name of the anointed Savior. That's the only way you're going to praise the Most High. Listen, if he don't confess you before the angels, listen about these angels, who are spirits. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. These are angels that he's not going to confess you before, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Now we know the Most High made everything by Mashiach Yahushua. Fire and hell, these are the things that these angels can bring to you. And we have seen this come many a times. Just turn on your news, you see this happening right now. Back to back to back, gonna be just like a woman in travail. It says fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. Hear that? He ain't confessing you to these angels, so ain't no protection. He said, I ain't saying nothing to the angels. You don't want to confess me, you ain't got no shield. You don't have no protection. You ain't put no whole armor of the Most High on. Because the Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High is consuming fire. The Mashiach Yahushua is there to fan them flames back. And them flames is what we see. First thing his name is what? Fire. You see, them angels burning things up. Hailstones, storms and so forth. Tornadoes, death, it says. See, they shall rejoice in his commandments, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time has come, they shall not transgress his word. They're going to do exactly what the Most High say do. So I say the Most High say he create evil for those that deserve the evil. He chastise us who he loves. Let's continue. Matthew 18 and 10. Matthew 18 and 10. Matthew 18 and 10. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See, got angels that are always before the Most High on these little ones. For the little ones' benefit. On these little ones' behalf. On behalf of these little ones. That's why he say you must well tie a noose around your neck and a big millstone and cast that big giant stone into the ocean, to the sea. Because the angel going to bring those destructions upon you. One way or another, he going to get you. That's what we see. Numbers 27 and 18. Numbers 27, chapter 18 verse. Numbers 27 and 18. Numbers 27, 18. Numbers 27, 18 says, and the Most High said unto Moses, take thee Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, It's the honor of Moses upon Joshua. And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. That's the whole thing. Joshua was a man. Just like he have men that's set up on this earth now, that's bringing forth this truth. But the whole reason why Moses gave Joshua some of his honor, that the people of Israel may be obedient. That's what it's all about. Ezra, the 6th chapter. Ezra, the 6th chapter. Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 1 to 3. And Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. Now, Darius is over the Persian Mede Empire. Now, we came from the captivity under the Babylonians. So when the Persian Mede came into power under Darius and Cyrus, he had to get everything from Babylon. That's what it's saying. He found the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. And there was found at Armitha in the palace, that is, in the province of the Medes, a roll, and therein was a record thus written: in the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of the Most High at Jerusalem. Let the house be built, the place where they offer sacrifices, and let the foundation thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 60, which is 60, the score is 20 cubits. The cubic is approximately like from your elbow to the end of your finger. 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 60 cubits, which would be 60 cubits. Jump to verse 7, and we'll read to verse 12. Let the work of this house of the Most High alone, let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house